Hi guys, I'm an engineering student at the University of Michigan. Today I'm doing an honest rapid fire list of pros and cons of Michigan engineering. Basically the stuff I wish I knew when I was deciding. Hopefully this list helps you make your decision, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Let's get started with the pros. Number 1, SUGS. If you're even thinking about grad school, SUGS is a great opportunity. It's an accelerated master's program offered by many engineering departments. The program helps you finish a master's sooner, often within a year instead of the traditional 2-year route, by counting specific undergrad coursework towards the graduate requirements. Number 2, engineering feels like its own community. U of M is huge, but the College of Engineering being on a separate campus creates a distinct sense of community. Some lectures are massive, especially for core classes, but labs and discussion sections are intentionally small, often around 20 to 30 people. So you actually get more hands-on help and interaction with the instructor and your peers. And the engineering campus is pretty compact, so you run into people you know all the time. Number 3, ample academic support. There are a lot of academic support opportunities, which is huge in engineering because the coursework can get difficult. Professors and teaching staff are genuinely eager to help. They host tons of office hours throughout the week, stay active on class forums so questions can get answered, and often run extra review sessions before exams. In my experience, professors and TAs will even stay after lectures to answer questions. On top of that, there are tutoring resources like the Engineering Learning Center with tutoring for math, science, and engineering courses. Number 4, rigor. Michigan engineering programs are definitely rigorous. They'll push you more than what you're probably used to. The projects, homeworks, quizzes, and exams are designed to stretch your problem-solving skills and how you think, but the weekly workload can feel intense. In my experience, that challenge helped me build strong fundamentals, and you will end up leveling your time management, knowledge, and mental stamina. Number 5, name recognition and alumni network. Michigan Engineering has strong name recognition across the board. For recruiting, this prestige helps you get your foot in the door for internship and full-time roles, like getting that first look from recruiters. It's also a well-respected name for grad school and research opportunities. And the alumni network is genuinely everywhere. I've run into actual Michigan alumni while traveling abroad. There's a huge alumni presence in major hubs like NYC, the Bay Area, Chicago, Seattle, and DC, which is great for networking when you already share that Michigan connection. In my experience, a lot of alumni are willing to connect and give advice. Number 6, the builder and entrepreneurship scene. If you're interested in entrepreneurship, Michigan Engineering has courses and programs that help you kickstart ideas and actually build something real. You've got campus resources like the Zell Lurie Institute for funding opportunities and the Career for Entrepreneurship for mentorship. If you want a community around building, B1 at Michigan is a great builder space with lots of resources to help you get started, and the organization is plugged into the accelerator world, including YC. Number 7, it's a multidisciplinary powerhouse. One of the biggest pros of Michigan Engineering, and Michigan overall, is that the university is strong across a lot of disciplines, not just engineering. It's pretty common for people to branch outside their major and take classes in other departments, do cross-campus programs, or even add a minor or dual major. Engineering also builds in requirements to encourage you to explore disciplines beyond your department. If your interests change, you can pivot or add something new and still be in a strong program. Number 8, it's credit-friendly, which means more flexibility for your schedule. Michigan engineering degrees are structured in a way where graduating early is actually possible for a lot of students, especially if you come in with AP, IB, dual enrollment, and transfer credit. Michigan is generally receptive to those credits, depending on the class and department, of course. These credits can knock out core requirements so you can get into your major class years sooner. For some people, that means finishing less than 4 years. For others, it means using that extra space for electives, project teams, study abroad, or a minor. Either way, it can give you more flexibility on how you want to plan out your degree. Number 9, career opportunities. Career opportunities are a massive pro because Michigan is a well-known target for a lot of employers. Recruiting is really active. Every semester, the career fairs bring in hundreds of companies across industries from big tech to aerospace to biotech, quant, chemical, and automotive. But it's not just the fairs. There are tons of company info sessions and recruiting events throughout the season, which are honestly some of the best ways to get on a recruiter's radar and network. Number 10, lots of hands-on experience opportunities through research and project teams. Michigan really invests in undergrad research, and there are many ways to get involved early as an undergrad, even as a freshman or a transfer student. UROP is a super common starting point for freshmen and sophomores to get into a lab and learn what research actually looks like. SURE is a paid summer research program for students to do research full-time over the summer. And the multidisciplinary program provides opportunities for students to work on sponsored projects with industry or academic partners for credit hours. Also, if you'd rather build the new lab research, Michigan has a ton of student project teams. Many are multidisciplinary, so you don't have to be one specific major to join, as these teams need different skill sets and roles. Many welcome all experience levels, and some even compete nationally. You'll see a lot of teams working in the Wilson Center, which is a huge workshop space with a lot of resources. If you want to build real stuff outside of class, the project teams are one of the best opportunities of Michigan Engineering. Enough of the pros, now let's move on to the cons. Number 1, Michigan winters. Look, the weather is a legitimate factor. Michigan winters can take a toll, not just because it's cold, but because there's the stretch where it's gray, wet, and gloomy for what feels like forever. If you're sensitive to that, it will mess with your mood. The campus is gorgeous throughout the year, but you'll have to be ready for that January to March stretch where the sun basically goes into hiding. The cold is no joke, especially when you have to walk around campus to get to your classes. Moreover, the cold leads to a lot of illnesses floating around during the colder months. Number 2, the bus commute. If you live on Central or have classes on Central as an engineering major, the bus commute can get annoying and add friction to your schedule. The buses get absolutely packed during rush hour, and wait times can be irritating. If you're bouncing between Central and North, you're losing half an hour of your day just in transit. You'll have to be savvy when planning your schedule. Number 3, imposter syndrome. Being surrounded by bright people is part of the appeal of Michigan, but it can also trigger imposter syndrome. It's easy to feel behind when your roommate just landed a competitive internship, and the person next to you in lecture has already finished the project the day it was assigned. The best thing you can do is find your people. Number 4, selective clubs. Some clubs and top project teams are selective, and the recruitment can be stressful with the interview process. If you don't get in the first time, don't let it discourage you from applying again or trying a different team. Rejection is just redirection. Number 5, the continuous grind. Once the semester gets going, deadlines stack fast, and some classes can feel like they're grade really tough, which can be demotivating. However, there is support, including office hours, study groups, and help sessions, but you have to seek them early because these resources can get packed near deadlines. I will say, the College of Engineering does host really fun events to decompress throughout the semester, so definitely take advantage of them. Number 6, cost. Cost is honestly the biggest hurdle at U of M. U of M is expensive, and the unfortunate reality is the cost is not guaranteed to stay the same throughout your degree. Once you hit 55 credits, often around junior standing, there is a bump in tuition, which they call upper-level tuition. In addition, tuition can go up by a couple thousand a year to keep up with rising costs, regardless of your class standing. Aid can be competitive too, since Michigan is a large public university. Number 7, the expensive and competitive housing market. Ann Arbor is a pricey college town with lots of students. The student housing market can get competitive, especially for apartments that are close to campus, and the rent can get expensive. Good places go by fast, so you have to be proactive and start looking at leases early. A lot of people start looking around October for leases for the next year, so you'll have to stay on top of the search. Number 8, North Campus. North Campus was not a con for me personally, but it has been brought up as a con by others. North Campus can feel pretty separated from the rest of the university. Central Campus is close to the heart of Ann Arbor and has a lot more restaurants and things going on, but North is mostly academic buildings and a quieter vibe. Food options can feel limited outside of dining halls and Pierpont. So if most of your day is on North for classes and studying, it can start to feel like you're in a bubble and a little disconnected from the main Michigan energy, which is a pro for some and a con for others. Number 9, the late exam timings. It is not uncommon for some engineering classes to have evening exams that run until 9 p.m. Of course, it's not the end of the world, but it can be inconvenient, especially if you have extracurriculars, work, you commute, or you just do not want to be taking the exam that late. I personally hated waiting the entire day to take my exams and then forcing myself to stay energized and locked in that late. This last con is for people interested in majoring in CS. Number 10, the CS advanced selection stress. For students who want to pursue CS, the advanced selection policy can be stressful. If you do not get selected, it can feel like your plan got derailed. but majors like computer engineering or data science can still lead to a lot of the same career outcomes. And a lot of the early core requirements overlap, so you're still building the same foundational skills. There's also an option to minor in CS as well. So yeah, those are my honest pros and cons of Michigan engineering. Overall, it's challenging, but if you're proactive, the opportunities here are genuinely huge. If you're deciding between schools, compare cost. Think about the campus vibe, and ask yourself if you see yourself in a big environment filled with a lot of opportunities that you'll have to seek for yourself. Again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Go Blue.